Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, so the FBI searched the Maryland home of John Bolton. He's a former national security advisor to Donald Trump. He was fired in 2019. He wrote a book that was critical of Donald Trump's intelligence and ability to run the country. So the FBI raided both his home and his Washington offices looking for classified documents. Michael Bolton in January had mentioned that Trump, just before Trump got put into office, he was talking with AP News. It was saying that Trump would be the type of person who would go after his enemies, and his enemies list is long. Trump, for his part, when talking with reporters and was told about this, he said he had seen the news coverage on the searches at the two locations, and he expected to be briefed by the Justice Department, but insisted he didn't want to know about it. I could know about it. There could be I could be the one starting it, but actually I'm the chief law enforcement officer, but I feel it's better this way. Does anybody actually believe that? Trump is a mob boss. That's how Michael Cohen's described him. And I'm sure that Trump at some point has said, they did an investigation for me looking at my documents at Mar-a-Lago, but nobody ever looks at Michael Bolton. I keep calling John Bolton Michael Bolton. Poor Michael Bolton. No, he's out there in his singing career, and the FBI is going to come raiding his house because Trump is going to screw up the names too. And, you can have Kash Patel and Pam Bondi in this meeting saying, nobody's going after John Bolton. Why isn't anybody looking at him? They looked at me. He wrote this book. He's got to have classified information. How come nobody's looking at that? And the Justice Department back in 2019, 2020 did bring an investigation, a grand jury investigation against John Bolton. But the Biden administration dropped the investigation, basically saying it was politically motivated. The Biden administration, I want you to think about this for a second. A Democratic president leading a Democrat-led administration dropped a grand jury investigation against a Republican, a staunch Republican, a Iran war hawk Republican, for taking and misappropriating classified documents. That wouldn't happen unless they felt that it was politically motivated, because where's the downside for the Biden administration to look at John Bolton to see if he had classified documents? If they felt he had classified documents, they're going to go after it, and it's going to be a coup because it's the former administration. It shows corruption. So the fact that Biden administration dropped it tells you there was no there. And it also bolsters what Bolton was saying, that Trump is petty and goes for retribution. I also want to throw out there, John Bolton is not an idiot. I may disagree with him politically. I may think that he's a caveman, knuckle-dragging caveman with his ideas on how to handle Iran. But that being said, he's not an idiot. He's not going to have classified documents because he knows Trump will go after him if he does. And he's seen that, Mike Pence had classified documents. Biden had classified documents. So long as you say, whoops, don't want these, come National Archives and the FBI, please take these away from me, he's going to be fine. If he holds on to them, he's going to be in trouble. And I suspect that if he had classified documents he was holding on to, the last place he's going to keep it is at his home and at his office. Maybe some storage facility somewhere that he pays for cash so that nobody knows, under a pseudonym or somebody else's name, so that nobody knows it exists, and there's no paper trail, no money trail to tie him to it. Sure, why not? But man, that's an awfully long way to go to hold on to documents that you shouldn't have, when it's just easier to give back. But whatever. John Bolton's not an idiot. let's take a look at just the energy around here. Because one last one, J.D. Vance, because J.D. Vance answered this in the most J.D. Vance way possible. When on an NBC News interview on Friday, he was asked if Bolton's being targeted because of his criticism from Trump. J.D. Vance's non-answer to the question was, if there's no crime here, we're not going to prosecute it. If there is a crime here, of course, Ambassador Bolton will get his day in court. That's how it should be. That same answer could be applied if the FBI came to my house looking for classified documents, which could be those papers right there. Those are work documents. It's like, I don't have classified documents. The FBI, granted, the Justice Department had to go to a judge to get the warrant to search his places. So they have to have some information. But, retribution, they could say, I've got documents. Come storming in here, steal some cat toys or what. But I've got no documents. But J.D. Vance's answer would still be the same for me, right? If David didn't commit a crime, we're not going to prosecute it. If David did commit a crime, then I'll get my day in court. What's the probability I have government documents here? It's 0 because I didn't work for the government. But what if I had? What if I had been in the military and I had seen classified information? They could come after me too, saying, well, he worked in the military and, some documents are missing around the time he was working there. Let's go after him. That's retribution. Same thing with an IRS audit. I don't cheat on my taxes, but they could do an IRS audit on me every year. Would that be retribution? Absolutely it would be. But, again, Trump's a mob boss. He wanted Bolton, he wanted to send a message, I believe, to other people. He's like, if I can go after Bolton, I can go after you. So let's take a look at the energy around this. Okay? So for entertainment purposes only, what do we got about this energy about the search of Michael Bolton? And first thing we get straight out of the chute is the 3 of coins. Now, this could say that Michael Bolton's got secret valuable documents that he's been hiding in his basement. And we're going to find it. And we're going to search everywhere to find it. That certainly could be one interpretation of it. The other interpretation of this is we have a conspiracy going on. I'm going to tell you guys what to do, and you're going to go out and do it. What's the cross? The world card. The world card could be, again, bringing things to a close. Or full circle. Trump got investigated for classified documents, and now Bolton's going to get investigated for it. But I think the world card in this case means that he's trying to shut down. He's trying to shut down like Bolton's world here. Like, if I can go after Bolton, I can go after you. There's nowhere in the world you can hide on something like this. This 2 of Wands tells me that he's not going to stop with John Bolton. Forgive me if you hear me say Michael Bolton about a half a dozen times during this video. Okay? Sorry. I realize the 2 of them don't look alike, and I doubt if we had sushi with John Bolton, drank some Japanese beers, and sang karaoke, that he would suddenly be rocking it and knock it out of the park, I don't even know any Michael Bolton songs, so I can't even do a better parody of that. What do we have here? Okay, so in the past we have the 10 of coins. Legacy, lots of information, money, changing hands. We're looking at the energy around this investigation here. Mind you, again, Trump had taken classified documents, and there's some fears that he sold them or traded them for things of value. And Trump always thinks that somebody does the same things that he does. So it wouldn't surprise me if some intelligence came back saying that some documents that used to belong to the United States made it out into the world. Classified documents, and it got caught. And now they're looking for a scapegoat. I didn't see this twist coming, but this could be a definite cover your butt moment. So let's keep that in mind as we go through this. Current situation is judgment. Yeah, So, going back to the original theme, this is sending out the message to folks. Don't mess with Donald Trump because I will go after you. But this could also be the red alert, this document made it out there type of thing. And now we're calling all the intelligence agencies, put them on high alert because some valuable documents made it out into the black market in the world. And there's more coming. Overarching energy is temperance. Ooh, how interesting. Why do I say that's interesting? Temperance is about detoxifying. It's kind of downplaying, but it's watering it down. And in this case, I think this is the distraction. Mind you, all of this is to distract from the Epstein files, which are being released today to the House Oversight Committee. Let's never forget that is happening today. So this is just something to compete with that. I don't think there's going to be any legs to this story because, frankly, nobody cares about John Bolton. They just don't. Maybe they care about Michael Bolton, but they don't care about John Bolton. And I'm not sure they care about Michael Bolton either, but Michael Bolton never did anything to really deserve the hate he's got. Should play some Michael Bolton in the background. Temperance. I think this is looking at, again, if this is truly about documents, a couple things. One, if Trump's trying to send a message, he's sending the message that he's overseeing this whole investigation or the initiation of this. And if you're thinking that you should cross Trump, maybe you should slow your roll. Yeah, sure, why not? The other thing is, if documents were sold and the intelligence agencies are aware of it, how do you take the heat off yourself? You blame somebody else for it. It wasn't Trump selling the documents, putting it out there. It's got to be somebody else. Maybe that Michael Bolton character. Sir, that's the singer. Oh, I mean John Bolton, the guy with the funny mustache. Oh, wow. A reversal. Now, interesting. I don't read reversals. I try to put the cards back in my deck the proper way up. And somebody even asked me a question about that the other day. How come I always read the cards, I forget the term they use, but in the upright position. Dr. Lena taught me that way. And I am very careful about putting my cards in an upright fashion. And then I use the energy of the person I'm reading as whether or not that should be reversed or not. Does that lead to bias? Sure. At best, you can say it gives me very optimistic readings. Okay? The fact that this came upside down, I'm going to reverse it. Normally, upright, this would mean folks being left out in the cold, lack of money, lack of information. But this way reversed is the killer's inside the house. And that it may not be money that... It's like this is a way to get people who are feeling left out to be pulled back in. So for like the John Boltons of the world, the warning shot is if you are outside of Trump, what's the quote from The Godfather? Every time I try to get out, they pull me back in. It's that kind of thing. If you think you're out, you're not out. You're going to get pulled back in. This also could be people on the outside, again, are being brought on the inside. So this could be also informants and things along those lines. That's an interesting reversal here. And then another reversal. Outcome is the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Are the rest of my cards reversed here? They are. Huh, interesting. Queen of Pentacles reversed. What's going on here? This is about practicality. So it's the reverse of practicality and kitchen table issues. So this is telling me that it's big picture issues, not simple issues. These are complex issues that impact a group of people that don't impact ordinary Americans. They move outside of that. This is impractical. I'm wondering if that has to do with the information. First off, it's impractical in that you can't go after everybody who's on the enemy list. That's one problem with this one. The other problem is that the information that they're probably going after might be really specialized, and it's not practical to go after all of that. Now I'm going to have to go fix my deck here. Hang on for a second. I'm going to pause. Okay, the deck has been righted. I must have reversed the cards when I was shuffling and things got reversed in there. So we're all upright again. But yeah, I mean, this is, first off, let's find out, is Michael Bolton, darn, I keep doing, is John Bolton being targeted? Michelle's laughing. Michelle, what's some Michael Bolton songs? I don't know any of his stuff. Okay, there you go. No, if you can hear that in the background. About the most I know from Michael Bolton is watching Good Will Hunting and referring derogatorily at a character who looks like some guy with the Michael Bolton haircut. Anyways, is John Bolton being targeted by Trump and the Trump administration? Page of Swords. We've got, it's either a ham-fisted attempt or we have a whistleblower. And let's see, we've got secrets. Integrity, I think I see where this is going here. Lover's card, yeah, I definitely see where this is going here. Okay. Donald Trump looks at John Bolton, he probably looks at Michael Bolton this way too, as a whistleblower, a leaker. When he wrote that book, he exposed Trump. And remember, Trump wants loyalty above everything else. And you are not supposed to talk about things that happen under Donald Trump. Everything's secret, hush, hush. So what's that telling me? My knee-jerk reaction is, yes, John Bolton is being targeted. Now, what if they find evidence that John Bolton had information? Well, then there's a whistleblower who leaked the information that Bolton had secrets and was in cahoots with some other foreign government. And it got found out, maybe by the intelligence agencies or something. I have a cat clawing at my crystal counter. Here's your cat fix here. Turn up the light here for you. For all you cat lovers out there, there you go. You got Nico and Elle sitting on the paper. Nico's playing with a feather, a peacock feather. Okay, so likely it's retribution. There could be some actual spy craft going on here, which is going to lead to this next question. Did John Bolton more to the point, and going back to that one, is Bolton being targeted? It could very well be there's a whistleblower, or the spy agencies have said, hey, wait a minute, somebody's compromised us. They've given our secrets to our enemies. And again, remember in the first part I was saying this could be a distraction from that. This could be something Trump has done, because we know he had classified documents. And it's suspected that Trump was given classified documents that were different than other people, so that if it made it out into the wrong hands, it could be traced right back to him. I think this one, and this could very well be a distraction on that. Did John Bolton keep classified documents or sell classified information? It seems off-brand for him. That doesn't mean it can't happen. It just seems off-brand. The Empress. Taking care of things or losing entitlement. We have the Devil card, the Happy Family, Happy Republicans, the Victory, and the Knight of Wands. Did he have them? I don't think so. To me, it's more like John Bolton thinks of himself as the protector of the United States. Republican through and through, wants the best for the United States, but it's in a Teddy Roosevelt big stick. I may speak quietly, but I carry a big stick personality type thing. I don't think so. Underneath this one is, I think he has his own version of devil energy that he fights, corruption that he fights, and he sees himself as victorious and a leader. That doesn't mean he's not beyond dirty tricks or something along those lines. He knows how the politics are played, and he can play just, well, he's an ambassador, for God's sake. He knows how this game is played. But it's like his legacy wouldn't allow for him to do this. He's been successful, in his mind, fighting evil, doing things the way he does, using a big stick policy. I honestly do not believe, these cards don't seem to indicate a sneakiness. This is the only one that's in there. And I think in a way, he knew that this was always a possibility. Because when you go against Trump and you leave the happy family, then Trump will go after you in your comfort. Because, remember, Trump's all about money and comfortable living. So his punishment for anybody else is to go after their money and their comfort. Okay? And humiliation. Humiliation is like one of the ultimate punishments to Trump. Remember the whole mashed potatoes on the head thing. The not having money is a punishment to Trump. Not having those resources. Being ignored and not talked about is another punishment of Trump, which is why he says, I don't know that person. Never saw that person before in my life. That's his way of punishing you. Taking your money away, humiliating you, and then acting like you're a nobody. Isn't it funny how you can look at his attacks and then understand that those are his weaknesses. Those are his soft spots. Basically, I'm going to ask flat out now. Did the intelligence agencies find that information was leaked, and this is now being blamed on John Bolton? I'm going to do a bigger spread on that one. There we go again. I think it is. I think that original thing was the intelligence agencies coming out here. Yeah. Stuff is out. Stuff got out that shouldn't have gotten out, and it got discovered. It's dark. No, things that should be in the shadows are now in the light, and now they have to find out how that stuff got out. In the past, the Four of Swords, secrets that should have been kept, that never should have seen the light of day, saw the light of day. Page of Wands. They're now investigating it, trying to figure out how those things got out. We're in the early stages of it. Overarching energy is the Ten of Cups. This is stuff about U.S. security. The security of the United States. Things that the Republicans would be very concerned about. But, domestic tranquility, that type of stuff. Let's see, the Three of Cups. I think, and not only that, I think the CIA, FBI, and NSA are all aware of it. They're collecting the data and sharing the data with each other. So I think this is the intelligence agencies working together to ascertain what happened here. Ooh, bye. This is important stuff that got out. Again, national security type stuff. One clarifier, the Star card. Yeah, this is stuff that is important to the United States. This would be like the leaking of the Iranian war plans type stuff. And again, remember that John Bolton is a hawk against Iran. And Trump had the Iran war plans, the invasion plans if we were to invade Iran, and was showing it to Susie Wild. That's who was in the that audio tape that got leaked where he says, "Oh, you can't come close to this. This is important top secret stuff. I shouldn't be showing this to you," type of thing. It's stuff like that that got out. And that's why you could have probable cause to go after Bolton, because he was a national security advisor. So the documents that are out there is stuff that involves national security, which is why they could go out. That's how you convince a judge to go after Bolton, because he would have had access to that. And I think it's Trump covering his tracks. Is this Trump covering his tracks? Did Trump sell national security documents? And he's blaming, now he's trying to distract with John Bolton. Knight of Cups. He gave him to Russia. It could be to Netanyahu, but he gave him. This is the false friend. This is that false friend. Somebody who's your false friend. So this is going to be Trump giving it to somebody. The quid pro quo. The death card. Bringing things to an end. Maybe it's like, if I suddenly need something for a favor, and we're going to need favors here. Holding things tight. This is like the Mar-a-Lago documents. Nine of Wands. Knowing that they're coming. Waiting for something to happen. Yeah, okay. And the Eight of Coins. So, yeah, I think he had things of value that he sold or gave away. Stuff that he never should have had, he's holding on to. But in case something really bad happens, he's looking over his shoulder for this event to happen. He still has some plausible deniability with going on this one, but it's valuable stuff he sold or something like that. It's an insurance policy. This is to me, again, entertainment purposes only, this is a smoke screen. This is 100% a smoke screen. And he's using John Bolton as a scapegoat. One last spread on this one. Will John Bolton be cleared of this? Because they could try and railroad it. They could try and plant things on it. I don't think that'll happen, though. Because you know what? Ambassador Bolton is a well-connected person. And he's going to have friends. Trump has friends in high places. So does Bolton. This is a dangerous game that's being played here, if I'm right with my interpretations here. Will Bolton be cleared? Judgment. We'll find out. Page of Swords. Spies again. The Nine of Coins. Following the money. Page of Swords and Knight of Swords. Moving quickly. And the Emperor. Trump is going to try and drive this investigation forward. Probably using Pam Bondi as a stooge. Go after this guy. Send the message. But that's what Trump's going to do. But I was asking if he would be held accountable. I just think they're going to follow the money in the spy agencies. Or it's like this might be happening on the outside, but the spy agencies are ignoring it. Because they know who's underneath it all. We'll see. I think it's a little early to say. Again, if Bolton did do it, then yeah, they're going to nail him. They'll have him dead to rights. But I just feel like I don't feel like he's done this. Again, I'm not a fan of John Bolton, not even a little bit. Not much of a fan of Michael Bolton either, but I really don't know anything about Michael Bolton other than his music style is not what I like. But, I'm not a fan of John Bolton. And if he hasn't done anything, he shouldn't be criminally prosecuted for something he hasn't done. True of anybody. But I'm just not getting the vibe that he's done what he's been accused of. That's why I guess I'm going with it. Okay. Well, put a pin on this one. We'll see how this one pans out, okay? There could be more that comes out that's implicating Bolton, because I do think that Trump is behind all this and he's trying desperately to cover his tracks. We'll leave it here. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you found it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.